Aries, hi. So this is going to be a reading for March 23rd through the 29th. And I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Aries. The overall energy for the reading, the Nine of Wands. I believe you with that one. Man, what is going on here? A little bit of, no, thank you, Okay, in the recent past, the Page of Swords, the Five of Wands, the High Priestess. A little bit of conflict started there. Just a tiny little one. A little bit of, we're going to bump heads a little bit here with someone. Like, I feel like you're more in the feel of how not to make that bigger than what it was. Kind of like, okay, this is where I need to stop with this. Okay. In the current situation, the Star, the Ten of Wands, the Strength card, it's looking like something is very, very hard for you to achieve at this moment in time. It's looking like I want to do this. Oh, fuck. It's very, very difficult for me to do that. I want to do this. Oh, fuck. So, but pretty much, I don't know if it's a one thing in particular or pretty much anything you set your mind to, it's very, very difficult. That could be potentially for whatever sparked up in the past there, and it's creating a difficult environment for you to move out from in the direction that you want. In the immediate future, the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Six of Swords. Whatever started there as small, it became so big that no, you just don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm not sure if you're leaving the situation. You're definitely distancing from it because it hurts you. It gets to the point where it's hurtful. It's uncomfortable. It's like, I just don't want it. Is that type of an energy. It makes me feel certain ways that I don't like. And I think from an energetic standpoint, you're definitely taking a few steps back because it doesn't make you feel good or whatever this is. But I'm not sure if you're leaving in the physical, like away from this. Let me clarify. Let's do the Nine of Wands. The Moon, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Wands. What's... yeah, no, I don't think you're leaving the situation quite yet because somewhere in the back of your mind there lies a thought that you planted in there, and you convinced yourself through that oh, things are going to change for the better. So I don't think you're walking away from the situation quite yet if you have that hanging there. Let's do the Page of Swords. You get the Ten of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so you entered this experience, whatever this is, from the idea of, I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm hopeful, that it's going to turn out great. It's going to lead us into a great place. It's going to, However, there were red flags from the get-go that you saw, but you went beyond those. You're like, whatever, I'll just push it to the side so that the redness of that doesn't bother me. I'll just, yeah, whatever. Five of Wands. You get the Empress, the Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Wands. Okay, yeah. Red flags through, I don't know, conflicts, fights, disagreements. Who the hell knows how they transpired. But you're coming in and saying, these things are, doesn't matter. What matters is how I feel about where things are going to go, about this other person that I'm dealing with. So I strongly believe that, hey, I feel super connected to whoever this is, so the rest of it doesn't really matter. Let me do the High Priestess, the Three of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Hangman. And then you placed yourself by saying that in a zone of waiting. Waiting and waiting and waiting for all those red flags to be completely exterminated by who knows what magical force. And then everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. Everything, you're not going to have those conflicts anymore. You're not going to have those. They're small anyway. Who cares about them? Well, you did, because you carried the energy of those with you. Because otherwise, why would you wait for things to be blissful? You place yourself on hold for something to change for the better, even from that early on. Let me do the star. In the current situation, the Lovers, the Death card, the Five of Wands. See, you're kind of looking at this from what you're telling me here as a connection, right? You have with someone and you see the beauty of that. You feel the beauty of that connection, right? The problem is that connection is all wrapped up in ugly energies, right? But you see beyond the ugly. You see, no, there's a beautiful connection out here. So what you're actually doing here is waiting for that ugly to be removed so that you only have to deal with the beauty of that connection. The thing is anybody doing anything about removing that ugly? Is anybody trying? And if it's just one out of the two, that's not going to work. The ugly comes from both, put together here. I can understand, and this could very well be that type of a connection of, oh my God, it's fucking out of this world. But if it's covered in ugly, it can be ugly out of this world. Do you want that? No, but maybe somehow the ugly is gonna fall off. Yeah, just like the red flags. For the 10 of Wands in the current situation, you get the 5 of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Magician. It's like the more you pull, energetically speaking, in that direction of wanting to get to the beauty of this connection, to the core of this, that is beautiful indeed in how you're showing it to me. But the more you go in there, the bigger the ugly gets on the surface, the harder it gets. The heavier the energies get. The bigger your intention to reach that beauty in it, the harder it gets. I'm guessing this is one of those connections that it's supposed to draw you in based off of the beauty at its core, so that it reveals the ugly, so that it brings stuff up for you to heal. I'm guessing it's one of those. Because otherwise, knowing you would have been out of here a while ago. For the Strength card in the current situation, you get the 10 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, the Temperance card. And remember, with every effort you put in to reach for that beautiful place that you feel for this, that's energy you're putting in, right? And it's beautiful energy, and it gets sucked into the ugly. So it turns that energy, it filtrates it from beautiful into ugly, and it probably returns it as that to you. And it's going to leave you depleted. You're not going to have any resources of beautiful to give to this, to seek and to reach the beautiful in this. What you're going to have is a bunch of ugly. Or just not giving anything to this anymore because you're depleted. You got nothing, and you're very close to feeling that. You're not there yet, in which you might say to yourself, oh, I got nothing left for this. But you're not there yet, but you're very close to that place in which you're going to feel completely sucked dry by whatever the hell is going on here. For the 3 of Swords in the immediate future, you get the Emperor, the 9 of Cups, the Page of Wands. Soon enough, you're going to start looking like how this connection looks like, right? There's the beauty at the core of it, and it's covered by the ugly. If you entertain this for long enough, that's how your energy is going to look. It's covered by the ugly of this. But then inside, that's where you are. And right now, I'm looking at your energy. It's right there. It's beautiful. It's blissful. It's whatever you want it to be. And it's covered by pain. Let me do the Two of Swords. For the Two of Swords in the immediate future, you get the Chariot, the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Wands. And it's like, it's going to become something like, you know, what am I going to do about this? Okay, I've gotten myself into this. What am I going to do about it? You know, and where am I going to pull the resources to do something about it? Because remember, you're depleted. You got nothing for this, at least. So you got to put in a little extra effort for you personally here with this question. What am I going to do? How am I going to pull myself back, you know, to the surface? Let me do the Six of Swords. For the Six of Swords in the immediate future, you get the Ace of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Four of Pentacles. What keeps you here stuck in this, because at some point it's going to feel like you're stuck in this and that you can't get yourself out, which that's not true, you can. But what keeps you in here is your perseverance to see the beautiful in the ugly here, to reach that place of beautiful with the ugly. But that ate you up alive here. So where did that get you? You can still believe that all you want. Just take it a little to the side of all of this. You know? You can still have that hope that this might turn into something beautiful that you see at the core of it. But given that you're dealing with the more and more the ugly part of it, maybe do it from the distance. Maybe remove yourself from within this, the umbrella of this energy. You know, I know why you're not doing it because there's fear that what if I do remove myself, then I'm never going to see the beautiful that I enter this by seeing, you know. So if I do take a few steps back and this turns beautiful while I'm not in there, it can't turn beautiful without you in there, because that's what made the beautiful, the connection between you and whoever this is at the core of it. So energetically speaking, yes, it's beautiful. If you leave it, if you remove yourself from this, it's not going to turn into anything. It's definitely going to break these energies that I'm seeing building up here, which are not beautiful. But it's the fear that holds you stuck in this. And if I present to you these energies in the way that they're showing up for me, if I place them right here in front of you and I show you how ugly it all looks, I wonder what keeps you still wanting this. Well, what's underneath those energies? Well, it's not here. So how can it have room to even come to the surface when all that's building here is ugly energies? You know? It won't even have room. You're building on something on the surface layer of that beautiful, on the ugly, on the red flags that initially showed up but you dismissed, on the whatever the hell else started building up in here on the surface layer, you know. So I do see you feeling the need to take a few steps back, at least from this experience. And I would recommend strongly that you do. But I don't know if you're going to do it, because I see you scared that if you do, you're going to lose this altogether. Lose what? This? What it's shaped into? Wouldn't you want to? The ugly? Maybe it leaves room for the beautiful to come to the surface if you do. But staying here attached to this will only build on the ugly. So, you know, I'm just here to expose the energies that are showing up in here. The decision is going to be ultimately yours. Sometimes you're ready to go ahead and take a few steps back. Sometimes you're ready to finish it all together. Sometimes you're not, you know, it's going to take some more time or whatever, for you to really feel like, oh my God, I got nothing left, you know. I don't know, because these types of energies consume you, whoever is dealing with them, you know. They're not going to give. They're just going to take, you know, not them, the person, but the energies that are building up around this. Because the energies that are building up around this is sustained by both energies, you and them. So it's not one of those, oh yeah, they're doing that to me. No. They're not. If anything, we do it to ourselves when we place ourselves in these types of energies, but we don't know most of the times, and that's where we learn, you know, to deal with these types of situations, to cut them out of our lives when needed, you know, things like that. Let me see what the universe has as a final advice for you. The King of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Ace of Swords. Yeah, the only thing that keeps you going here is that, you know, a thought that you placed in your mind that I'm just gonna persevere and I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna reach that beauty in its core of what this feels like. So it's your determination. That's your goal, to keep on going until you dig and you dig and you dig until you find the beautiful. At what cost? You know, what's the sacrifice here? Your own beautiful? Because it's starting to shape up into, you know, you are starting to shape up into the energy that I see here for this connection, whatever this is. So you get to decide, but that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.